Hello happy crocheters, this is Lindsay from windingroadcrochet.com and today I'm going to show you how to make these really cute hair ties. If you like this tutorial, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. So this is the hair tie we will be making. We are going to first crochet it and then we are going to tie it onto a hairband. For this project, you are going to need some of the Peaches and Cream stripey yarn, or any worsted weight size 4 cotton yarn would be just fine. There is also a pattern for a smaller version of this hair tie on my website, and it's basically the same concept of what we'll be doing here, just less rows. For this project, you're going to need your yarn, you're going to need scissors, yarn needle, and then a size G 4mm crochet hook. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, and of course you will need a hair tie as well. So let's go ahead and jump right in. We're going to make a slip knot any way that works best for you. Leave a yarn in long enough to weave in later. Insert your hook and then begin by simply chaining 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Now for row 1, we are going to work 2 half double crochets into the 3rd chain from the hook, or the farthest chain from the hook, whichever way works best for you. And this project results in a lot of just repeat rows. So I'm going to show you how to do certain rows, do it several times, and then catch up with you. So now we're going to chain 2 for row 2. We are going to turn, we are going to increase in the first stitch and half double crochet across. So for row 2, this is going to be 2 half double crochets into the first stitch, and then half double crochet in the one other stitch. And it does mean that we're going to increase the number of stitches each row, but this is technically our repeat row. We are going to chain 2. And again, we're going to increase or work 2 half double crochets into the first stitch. 1 and 2, both in the first stitch. And then we're going to half double crochet in each stitch across. And for this case, there's 2 more stitches across. 1 and 2. Let's do this repeat row once more. You can see how we're increasing to create the shape for our hair tie. So now we are going to chain 2 again and turn. We're going to do 2 half double crochet in the first stitch and half double crochet in each stitch across. You want to continue repeating this until you have a total of 7 rows, and row number 7 should have a total of 8 stitches thanks to the increases at the beginning of each row. So here I am just finishing up row 7. Again, if you count across the top, you'll see that I have 8 stitches right now. And now I am just going to work a few even rows. What that means is I'm going to chain 2 and I'm just going to half double crochet in each stitch across. So row 8, 9, and 10 are all going to be even rows where we just half double crochet in each stitch across. So this is the end of row 8, and I'm just going to repeat this row twice more. Alright, once it's repeated twice more, we're going to have a total of 10 rows at this point. And now what we will begin to do is decrease. So we've created this nice shape for our hair tie, and now we need to decrease it back down. So to start row 11, we're going to chain 2, and we are going to half double crochet 2 stitches together. So yarn over, insert your hook into the first stitch and pull up a loop. Then you are going to insert your hook into the next stitch and pull up another loop. You'll have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 4 loops on the hook. That is our half double crochet decrease. For the rest of the row, we are just going to half double crochet in each stitch across. And this is our decrease repeat row. So you are going to repeat this pattern for the next 3 rows, 4 rows if you are including row 11. but just continue to repeat until you have a total of 14 rows. So just to show you that row one more time, we are going to chain 2, turn. We are going to do a half double crochet decrease over the first 2 stitches. Yarn over and pull through all 4 loops, and then just half double crochet in each stitch across. Again, continue these decrease style rows until you have a total of 14 rows. And if I didn't mention before, we are making the larger version of the hair tie. If you wanted to make the smaller version, you could check out the pattern on my site, or simply work less increase and less decrease rows. So here we are at the end of row 14, and we only have 4 stitches across. Now we are going to be working more even rows. So for row 15 through row 22, we are just going to chain 2 and half double crochet in each stitch across. This is going to give us our middle section that we will use to tie around the hairband. So I'm going to do row 16, chain 2, turn and half double crochet across, and continue repeating this until you have a total of 22 rows. So here we are at the end of row 22, and now we just have to do exactly the reverse of our previous rows in order to get the same shape on the other side. So now we're going to be doing some increase rows by chaining 2, and we'll begin with an increase or 2 half double crochets into the very first stitch, 1 and 2, and then simply half double crochet in each stitch across. In this case, that's going to be 3 more half double crochets. And then we're just going to repeat this row. So chain 2 and turn, 2 half double crochets into the first stitch, and half double crochet in each stitch across. Continue repeating the increase rows until you have a total of 26 rows. So here we are at row 26. We have a total of 8 stitches in the very last row, and now we are going to work some even rows. We're going to chain 2 and turn, and then we're going to half double crochet in each stitch across. So just like we did on the other side, we're going to repeat this row 4 times, or until you have a total of 29 rows. When you reach the end of the row, you'll just chain 2 again, and then turn and half double crochet in each stitch across. Again, do it until we have a total of 29 rows. So here we are at 29 rows, and now all we have to do is begin decreases to get another point on the opposite side. So we're going to chain 2 and turn, and we're going to do a half double crochet 2 together in the first 2 stitches. So yarn over, pull up a loop in the first stitch, go into the second stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the 4 loops on your hook. Now we're going to half double crochet in each stitch across. At this point, you're going to continue working the decrease rows until you have a total of 36 rows, or to make it very easy, until you have only 1 stitch left in your very last row. So I'll continue working those decrease rows, and I'll show you what we do when we're done. Here we are at row 35. In this row, we're going to chain 2, work a half double crochet 2 together, and then half double crochet in the last stitch. And then moving on to row 36, we're going to chain 2 and turn, and simply work a half double crochet 2 stitches together, the last 2 stitches. So once we've completed our tie, if you wanted, you could fasten off now. but I want to give this a little bit nicer look around the edge. So what I'm going to do is chain 1 and single crochet around the edge of the project. It's going to make the edge look like this, which I think does look a lot nicer. So let me show you how we do this. Since we worked with half double crochets, it's a little trickier than other stitches. What we're going to do is work 1 single crochet into the side of 1 stitch, and then into the side of the next stitch we're going to be working 2 single crochets. And then we're just going to alternate that all the way down. So the side of the next stitch we're working 1 single crochet, and then around the side of the following stitch we're going to work 2 single crochet, and just continue this until you reach the point on the other side of our hair tie. Once you reach the other point, all we're going to do is chain 2, turn our work, and begin single crocheting down the opposite side. Again, working 1 single crochet into the first stitch, and work 2 single crochet into the side of the next stitch, and just repeat it until we reach our first point. And if it's really hard to see exactly where the sides of your stitches are, you can also just choose to single crochet evenly along the edge, adding more where you feel it's needed and skipping any areas that you think it's needed. When you reach the very first point, again we're going to chain 2 and simply slip stitch to the very first single crochet. So now our project is done. You should only have 2 ends to weave in. So just fasten off, yarn over, and pull it through the last loop. Take a yarn needle with your yarn end, and then what I like to do is first bring it down through a single crochet to bring that knot closer to the project, and then just run your needle under some of those single crochets. If you plan on washing this a lot, you're going to want to work back and forth 3 times, but I really don't expect this to get that dirty. So I'm just going to do it twice and clip off. You're going to do this to the other end, and then we're just going to tie it onto our hair tie. So I'm just going to take my finished piece, take a hair tie, and place 1 end through the hair tie. I'm going to take my 2 pieces and cross them together, and then take 1 point, pull it back over the front and in the hole in the center. And it's going to take some wiggling, but you just want to pull on each side evenly so that they are the same size, and very slowly tighten that center knot. And then just take a few minutes to position everything and get that knot just how you want it. And then you're ready to throw it in your hair. So I really hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. I hope you liked these vintage style hair ties and that you think they're fun. They're definitely a really quick project to work up. Let me know in the comments below if you're going to make them and what colors you're making yours in. And as always, thank you so much for watching.